My girlfriend texted at 2 p.m. Surprise, come meet my new boyfriend at Café Luna. I replied, be right there. Then I showed up, with my attorney and the lease agreement showing we still live together. Her boyfriend's face when he realized he was the side piece. I, 29 male, got the text while I was on lunch break at work. Just sitting there eating a mediocre turkey sandwich when my phone buzzed. Her text. Surprise, babe, I've been wanting to tell you something important. Come meet my new boyfriend at the cafe on 5th. We should all talk like adults. 2:30 works. I read it 3 times. New boyfriend. She said, new boyfriend. We'd been together 4 years, living together for 2. Our lease wasn't up for another 8 months. My first instinct was to throw up. My second was to call her and scream. But something stopped me. Maybe it was the casual cruelty of it, the smiley face. The assumption that I'd just, what? Shake the guy's hand and wish them well? Nah. I texted back, be right there. Then I called my buddy from college who happens to be a real estate attorney. Explained the situation in about 90 seconds. She's on the lease, he asked. Both our names, equal responsibility. And she's trying to introduce you to her new boyfriend while you still live together? Apparently. Long pause. Then, I'm coming with you. This is gonna be interesting. See, here's what she didn't know. I'd been suspicious for about 3 weeks. Late nights. Phone always face down. Sudden interest in self-care Sundays that required her to be gone all day. I hadn't confronted her because I was gathering information. Documenting. Screenshot every suspicious text I could see, noting every lie about her whereabouts. Not because I'm paranoid, because my dad got destroyed in his divorce when I was 15 and always told me, son, hope for the best, document for the worst. My attorney friend met me outside the cafe at 2:25. He had a manila folder with copies of our lease, the rental application showing both incomes were required to qualify, and a breakdown of our shared financial obligations. You sure about this? He asked. She invited me. We walked in. She was sitting at a corner table with some guy in a fitted blazer. Mid-30s maybe, expensive watch, the kind of confident posture that comes from never being told no. She saw me first, smiled, actually smiled like this was a pleasant surprise. You came. I'm so glad we can be mature about. She stopped when she saw my friend in his suit. Who's this? My attorney. The boyfriend's smile flickered. Just a little. Attorney? Why would you bring in? Hi. My friend stepped forward, all business. I understand there's been some confusion about living arrangements. I'm here to clarify the legal situation. He pulled out the lease and placed it on the table between their lattes. Both parties signed a 24-month lease agreement. 8 months remain. Both parties are equally liable for $2,400 monthly rent. Neither party can unilaterally terminate or move out without the other's consent and the landlord's approval, which typically requires finding a qualified replacement tenant or paying early termination fees. The boyfriend's face went through about 6 expressions in 3 seconds. Confusion, realization, horror. Wait. He looked at her. You said you broke up with him 2 months ago. We did, emotionally. Emotionally? I couldn't help it. You slept in our bed last night. You asked me to pick up your dry cleaning this morning. That's not. It's complicated. She told me she lived alone. The boyfriend was standing up now, face getting red. She said her ex was out of the picture, that you were just some guy who couldn't let go. My attorney friend, bless him, just kept going. Sir, I don't know what you were told, but they share a lease, utilities in both names, and as of this morning she was still listed as his emergency contact at his workplace. I can provide documentation if you'd like. The boyfriend grabbed his jacket. I've been taking her on weekend trips, buying her gifts. She said she was single. I am single, she shouted. We're broken up. Just because we technically live together doesn't mean. You literally said I love you to me 3 days ago. I kept my voice calm. That seemed to make her angrier. When I surprised you with takeout from that Thai place you like. I was being nice. The boyfriend walked out, didn't say goodbye, didn't look back. Just left her sitting there with 2 lattes and a real estate attorney. She turned on me, eyes wild. Why would you do this? Why couldn't you just let me have this? Let you have what? A secret boyfriend while I pay half your rent and do your laundry? I was going to tell you. I just needed time to figure out the logistics. The logistics of what? Having me subsidize your new relationship? She didn't have an answer for that. Just sat there, mouth opening and closing. I stood up. I'll see you at home. We need to talk about the lease. Left her there with the bill. Update 1 week later. So things escalated. Big surprise. She came home that night and acted like nothing happened. Made herself dinner, watched TV, went to bed in our room while I took the couch. I didn't push it. I was consulting with my attorney friend about my options. Here's the thing about shared leases that people don't realize. You can't just leave. If she stops paying, I'm on the hook for the full amount. If I leave, same deal. We're both trapped unless we cooperate. Day 3, she finally acknowledged reality. Found me in the kitchen making coffee. So, she said, I've thought about it. I think you should move out. Excuse me? It makes more sense. You're the one who made things weird. I have nowhere else to go, and clearly we can't live together anymore after what you did. After what I did? Bringing a lawyer to humiliate me. Telling lies to him. Nothing I said was a lie, and I didn't tell him anything. You invited me there. I was trying to be civilized. To introduce you to the man I love so we could all move forward. You said new boyfriend, not the man I love. She ignored that. I've talked to my mom. She agrees you should be the one to leave. It's only fair since you're the one who ruined everything. Ah yes, her mom. The woman who once told me I wasn't ambitious enough for her daughter because I work in IT instead of finance. I kept my voice level. I'm not leaving. We're both on the lease. If you want out, you can find a replacement tenant or pay the early termination fee. The fee is 3 months' rent. I can't afford that. Neither can I. Then you find somewhere else to stay. No. That single word made her lose it. She started screaming about how I was controlling, how I was trying to trap her, how this was financial abuse. I let her yell. When she finally ran out of steam, I said, I'll be sleeping in the second bedroom. I've already moved my things. We split common areas by schedule if you want. But I'm not leaving. I'm not paying your share, and I'm not pretending this situation is my fault. She called her mother. Speakerphone because apparently she wanted me to hear. He's refusing to leave. He's trying to control me. This is exactly what I was talking about. Her mom's voice came through tinny but furious. Put him on. I'm not having this conversation. He won't even talk to me. I went to the second bedroom and closed the door. Day 5, the boyfriend showed up at our apartment, pounding on the door at 9 p.m. I opened it. He looked rough, unshaven, bags under his eyes. You, he pointed at me. You cost me $3,000. I'm sorry? The trip I took her on last month, the jewelry, I thought I was dating a single woman and instead I was funding your girlfriend's affair. She's not my... I stopped. Look man, I didn't know about you either. I found out the same day you did. He processed this. She really played us both. Seems like it. I want my stuff back. I gave her things. She's not here right now, but honestly, good luck getting anything from her. He left looking defeated. Almost felt bad for the guy. But the next day, things got dirtier. She filed a complaint with our landlord claiming I was harassing her and making her feel unsafe in her own home. The property manager called me, sounding tired. Sir, your co-tenant has made some claims. I'm required to investigate. What claims exactly? That you're following her around the apartment, monitoring her movements, making threatening statements. I've barely spoken to her in 5 days. I stay in the second bedroom. We use a shared calendar to avoid being in common spaces at the same time. She says you brought a lawyer to intimidate her in public. She invited me to meet her boyfriend. I brought a friend who happens to be an attorney to a meeting she requested. The property manager sighed. Look, off the record, I've seen this before. I'm going to note the complaint, but unless there's actual evidence of harassment, there's nothing I can do. My advice? Document everything. Already on it. That night, I installed a camera in the common area, one of those nanny cam things that looks like a phone charger. Legal since I live there too, and it's a shared space. Not pointing at her bedroom or bathroom, just the living room and kitchen. Good thing I did. Day 6, caught her on camera going through my mail. She opened a credit card statement and photographed it. Why? No idea. Building a case for something probably. Day 7, her best friend showed up. I was working from home in my bedroom when I heard voices. Came out to find her friend sitting on our couch, glaring at me. You need to leave her alone. I live here. She says you're stalking her. Recording her. You're sick. I have a camera in a common space that I also occupy, which is legal. And I'm not stalking anyone. I go to work, I come home, I stay in my room. That's not what she says. Then she's lying. The friend stood up, got in my face. You're a controlling piece of garbage. No wonder she found someone better. The someone better dumped her when he found out she was lying to both of us. But sure, I'm the problem. She left in a huff. 5 minutes later, I got a text from an unknown number. Leave her alone, or we're calling the police. I screenshot it and added it to my documentation folder. Update 2. 2 weeks later. My attorney friend reviewed everything. The complaints, the mail tampering on camera, the threatening texts. She's trying to build a case, he said. Make you look like the aggressor so she can get some kind of restraining order or force you out. Can she do that? Not with what she has. Everything she's claimed you have evidence disproving. Plus, the camera footage of her going through your mail, that's actually a federal offense. You could pursue that. I don't want to pursue anything. I just want out of this lease without destroying my credit or paying her share. He thought about it. Give me a few days. Meanwhile, she escalated again. Her mother showed up. Without warning. I came home from work to find her sitting at my kitchen table like she owned the place. We need to talk. How did you get in? My daughter let me in. This is her home too. What do you want? She slid a piece of paper across the table. I've had a lawyer friend draw up an agreement. You transfer your lease rights to my daughter, pay 3 months' rent as a transition fee, and in exchange we don't pursue a harassment case. I looked at the paper. It wasn't even a real legal document, just something typed up to look official. This is ridiculous. It's more than fair, after what you've put her through. What I've put her through. She was cheating on me. She invited me to meet her boyfriend while we still share a bed. That's her personal life. You don't own her. And your reaction, bringing lawyers, refusing to leave, recording her, it's classic abuser behavior. I stood up. Get out. Excuse me? You're in my home. I didn't invite you. Get out. This is my daughter's. It's my home too, and you're trespassing. Leave or I call the police. She left, but not before threatening to make sure everyone knows what kind of man you really are. That night, she posted on social media. Didn't name me directly, but wrote a long post about her daughter's controlling ex, who was using financial abuse to trap her in an unsafe living situation. Tagged it with domestic violence awareness hashtags. People in the comments were supportive of her, calling me a monster. Some of our mutual friends messaged me asking if it was true. I typed out responses and deleted them. What was the point? Anyone who believed that without asking my side wasn't someone I needed in my life. Day 10, my attorney friend came through. Found something interesting, he said. Your lease has a clause about material misrepresentation. If either tenant conceals information that would affect the other's willingness to sign, it's grounds for unilateral termination. In English? She lied on the rental application, listed herself as single, no dependents, but I did some digging. She has a kid. I almost dropped my phone. She has a what? A daughter, 7 years old, lives with her ex-husband full-time. She never told you? 4 years. 4 years, and she never mentioned a child. How does this help me? She misrepresented herself on a legal document. That's fraud. The landlord can void her portion of the lease for cause, leaving you as the sole tenant. You'd either get the place to yourself or could terminate cleanly. And if I present this to the landlord? Given the complaints she's filed, the mail tampering, and now evidence of application fraud, they'll want her out more than you. I met with the property manager the next day, brought documentation, the camera footage, the fraudulent application, the text messages threatening me. He watched the video of her going through my mail twice. This changes things, he said quietly. How so? Between the false complaints, the mail tampering, and lying on her application, I can start eviction proceedings against her specifically. For cause. What does that mean for me? You'd take over the lease solo. Your income qualifies you if you want the place. Or I can let you terminate early with no penalty given the circumstances. Your choice. I thought about it. That apartment had been our place. Every corner held memories. The kitchen where we cooked together. The balcony where we drink wine and watch the sunset. I'll terminate. I want a fresh start, he nodded. Give me a week to process everything. Final update, 1 month later. The landlord served her with the eviction notice on a Tuesday. I was at work when it happened, but my camera caught everything. She screamed, actually screamed at the property manager delivering the papers, called him names, said she'd sue the building, said they were all conspiring against her. He stayed calm. Ma'am, you misrepresented yourself on your application and committed mail fraud on camera. You have 30 days to vacate. Where am I supposed to go? That's not my concern. After he left, she called her mother. Speakerphone again. I listened to the recording later. They're evicting me. This is illegal. He orchestrated this. We'll sue. We'll sue everyone involved. He has cameras. He's been recording me. That's a violation of privacy. We'll get him for that. The delusion was genuinely impressive. Her attorney, real one this time, sent my attorney friend a letter threatening suit for invasion of privacy. My friend sent back a 1-page response, citing the relevant state laws about recording in shared common spaces with consent of one occupant. Never heard back. She tried one more thing. Called the police claiming I'd stolen jewelry from her. 2 officers showed up at my workplace. Embarrassing? Yes. But I had documentation proving I never touched her things, and the camera showed her packing everything herself. The cops apologized. One of them, older guy with tired eyes, said, "Been doing this job 20 years, can usually tell when someone's lying. You're not the bad guy here. Small comfort, but I'll take it." Moving day was surreal. I went first, took my stuff to a small studio I'd found across town. Smaller, more expensive, but mine. She was still there when I left. Sitting on the couch surrounded by half-packed boxes. Didn't say goodbye, didn't even look at me. Her mother showed up as I was loading the last box, blocked my path. "I hope you're proud of yourself." "I'm not proud of anything, I just want it out." "You've ruined her life. She's lost her apartment, her boyfriend. The boyfriend she got while she was still sleeping in my bed, and now she has to move back home, at 31 years old, because of you. Because of choices she made. I didn't make her cheat. I didn't make her lie on her rental application. I didn't make her commit mail fraud on camera. You pushed her to that. If you'd just been a bigger man and moved out, I'm done being the bigger man for people who treat me like garbage. Excuse me. I pushed past her with my box, loaded my car, drove away. 3 weeks now in the new place. It's quiet. Too quiet sometimes. Still sleep on the couch some nights because the bedroom feels too empty. The aftermath played out messier than I expected. Her eviction went on her record. Makes it harder to rent in the future. Her mother apparently co-signed a new lease for her in a worse neighborhood. Only place that would take her with the eviction work. The boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, messaged me on social media. Not hostile, just tired. She's telling people you stalked her and I was the one who helped her get free. Making me out to be some hero. I'm not. I was just another guy she lied to. I didn't respond. Nothing to say, really. Mutual friends have mostly split down the middle. Some believe her narrative, controlling ex, financial abuse, the whole story her mother spun. Others heard my side, saw the evidence, and get it. Lost a few people I thought were friends, gained clarity on who actually was. The weird part? I don't hate her. I should, probably. But mostly I just feel empty. 4 years of my life with someone who could look me in the eyes and tell me she loved me while planning to introduce me to the guy she was sleeping with. My therapist, yeah, I'm seeing someone now, says that's normal, that the betrayal creates a cognitive dissonance that takes time to resolve, that I'll be angry eventually, and that's okay. For now, I just exist. Go to work, come home, watch TV, try not to think about it too much. The lease is settled, my credit's intact, I have documentation of everything in case she tries anything else down the line, and that's it. No dramatic revenge, no total destruction of her life, just consequences. The natural result of treating people like they're disposable while expecting them to keep carrying your burdens. She invited me to meet her new boyfriend. I showed up. She just didn't like who I brought. If you made it this far, thanks for reading. Time to close this chapter.